Hey guys, what's up? Eddie Gray here, back at it again. Composer Spotlight, Mr. Chrisman. What's up, bro? How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, guys? What's happening?
Guys, I want to highlight this incredible creative's career. He's managed to do so much in such a little time, and I always say this about you, dude, but I feel like he exemplifies what I consider to be this modern creative, somebody that's spawning a new kind of talent, a new kind of musician creative. And so I just wanted to talk to you today about how did you get here where you are. I know you're getting bigger level placements now, and I know you're still on the path, but can you break us down your journey, the path? Like, how did you get to where you are right now?
Well, I probably like a lot of people, I uh, needed a career change, and music was always a part of my life, but never really a goal. And it just sort of came together. My passion for music and my passion for computers and the DAW and everything. It just sort of all came together at the right time. Um, I spent a lot of time in the entertainment business, so I sort of had an idea how it worked, but definitely did not understand the differences between composing for somebody else, composing for yourself, you know, uh, in the actual sales part of it, the business aspect in terms of pitching yourself, pitching the music you have, all of these things, developing a website. And so it was quite a learning experience, and definitely coming in cold in itself, I think was incredibly humbling. Still is every day, as a matter of fact. So yeah, and you never stop getting that charge sometimes. So there's different variations, and I haven't even reached the spot where I want to be. But those little wins are huge wins when you're getting started, and it's a good thing to just really, for me, looking for those little wins really is a big thing that keeps me going. And at this point, albeit not on a huge level, even on a microscopic level, the what I'm doing and done so far, really in the past year and a half, 2 years now, as you know, um, has sort of taken on a life of its own. So at this point, even if I wanted to quit, people are still going to call me and say, or write me and be like, would you like to do this, briefly? And I'll be like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to turn it down. This is what
You're in too deep, bro. You're in too deep.
I'm in too deep and skimming the surface at the same time. It's an amazing it's an amazing place to be right now at this point
Good.
where I'm
You
at.
want you want to know what I feel separates you besides your own sound, which I heard kind of when I first met you. I was like, oh, this guy's in his own lane, And then we talk about production and various ideas, but I think what separates you from all the creatives and people that I've met is your integrity and who you are. Like, you're such a thoughtful person, and I know this is going to get you ahead like a landslide, man. You're going to do so much. Let's talk about your technical experience, because I find this is like a great obstacle for a lot of people. So, before you started doing this work, and by the way, just a quick, he's had big placements recently, working with big publishers. You're starting to get registrations on your ASCAP and such, so this is good. But talk to me about your technical experience. Was it hard to learn how to hack the system of music production? Um, how did it come naturally? Talk to me about that.
Um, I think my curiosity sort of made it happen naturally. I was always I was a gamer. I loved computer games. I loved getting, I've managed to blow up probably several computers in my lifetime, just digging in too deep. Um, so I do have a natural curiosity for the computer aspect. The sound aspect has always been a tremendous passion of mine, from loving high-end audio throughout my life. Certainly my exposure to the studio life has been uh, minimal, but the art of recording and mixing and all of those things really my passion is sound. So making that sound was really easy in the way because I was curious, and the curiosity never ends. It's just the DAWs are limitless, and
Mm.
as are all these plugins, and everything has its own facet. So it's I find myself needing to make conscious choices of what I'm going to dig too deep into. Um, but of course, the main one is always the DAW. So it's great to even though I'm in classes, as you know, with that are not even my specific version, I still learn things that just every day. It's
Totally.
fantastic. Yes.
Yeah, and even if it's the one or two gems that you get, right now I'm going over the Logic user manual on YouTube, and I am overwhelmed by the content. I mean, for just quick example, if you want to insert a track within a track, you hold Command, and it allows you to basically insert a track. Whereas if you don't do that, you basically have to go to the bottom of like just little things like that. But anyhow, um,
Showed me a new gem right there.
there you go. I wanna highlight your pedigree because I also understand that you have a family. You come from a family of music, right?
I do. My mom was a jazz singer. She's recorded a few times at the Hit Factory in New York. Um,
Nice.
my dad was an early guitarist for what became a great well-known band. Although they became the well-known band after my father left. Just make that clear.
Cool, cool.
But so no, he was a terrific man, intelligent guy, um, really good at recording, and that's probably he had a recording setup in his home. He had a home studio, all analog, so that made it very, very different.
Nice.
But that's really where I first started getting the bug of recording and mixing, doing more with the sounds as much as creating the music. So it's really interesting how my passion for creating music has also turned into this passion of mixing the music,
Right.
which is its own creativity. And and obviously to do this business, you need to do it all.
Yes.
You need to have it all. You need to do it all.
Totally. I'm currently reading Bobby Osinsky's one of his producer's handbooks, and he says that, of course, there's the art of making music, which is kind of an emotional connection. Then, of course, there's just the craft of putting it together, which is production. And of course, there can be love, there can be artistry in that, but it's more of a service. Like when you make music for the publishers that you're writing for.
Exactly.
How do you? What's your mindset when you're writing for IFMP or any of the other publishers? Um,
My
do you find?
mindset is it's really to please them. So I take my
Okay.
own personal feelings out of it,
Yeah.
obviously. And even though there will be decisions that creatively I probably would not go with, I know that's what the client wants. So if
That's
there's
actually happened to you?
oh, many times,
Oh,
many times.
cool.
Yep, almost every time. As a matter of fact,
Got it.
I always tone it down. Um, to sort of just keep it in that realm of not too distracting, right?
Got
I
it.
do have a tendency. I like a lot of ear candy. I mean, to the point of like Aphex Twin ear candy, which can be
Mm,
debatable as to whether or not it's ear candy.
got
So
it. Got
yeah,
it.
no, I do like them. But yeah, so my goal is my mindset is what are they looking for,
Okay.
and that's really where I sort of delve into it, and I try to get as much information as I can. But it's what are they looking for?
Got it. And so then now, where would you say you are with your career? I know you said that you're not kind of exactly where you want to be, but where are you in the timeline? You're on the path clearly.
I'm definitely on the path, like I said, because it has sort of taken on a life of its own. I'm getting consistent emails, so it's great. It is great, and I just landed another one with Publisher Swimming Pool, which
Let's
is
go.
fantastic. So they've been great. Thank you. Yeah, so it's I lost my train of thought. What was the question?
Oh, what were we saying? Hmm. Not now I spaced out. Something. Oh yeah, where are you in your in your career path? Like, do you feel good about where you are?
I do. I feel very good. I feel
Okay.
very good about where I'm at, and I think I have an outlook that is uncommon
How
in
so?
that sense. So I think that I would think that most people who have that general ideal of being, a performing, creating, working artist, making a living at this, um, would probably not feel as accomplished as I feel. So my bar is low, is I guess what I'm trying to say. Like I was saying early on, it's those little wins. So when I see, ASCAP pop up with $2.50, that's massive to me.
Right, I'm
That's
the
massive.
same.
Right. So I know it's there. And the goal for me really is to build up that sort of foundation, to have something to parlay into, obviously, higher paying gigs, right? So I'm at that point where I'm starting to see those little tiny 250 things come in from out of nowhere. I have no idea where the song went,
Yes,
where
yes,
it
yes.
came from, and it's that feels amazing. That feels amazing to me that somebody is using it, and I did it for somebody else, right?
This is what I'm talking about, your attitude, man. You have that right attitude. I mean, think about what Earl Nightingale says, that success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal. So this is why you feel successful. So I don't think it's that your bar is low. I just feel like you're in tune with yourself and you're not living disattached from this moment. I mean, you're disattached in that it doesn't matter what it turns out like. You're still a creative and you have found your voice. Like
I'm
when we
not
listen,
married to my songs. I'm not married to my songs.
right?
I don't even, they're not even really mine. Like I said, if I created them for somebody else, they're for somebody else. I mean, as
Right.
soon as I sign them over, they're gone. And
Totally.
and that's great for me. I don't find the desire really to be um married to my music.
Yeah.
I just like it, just it comes through. I kind of in a way don't even really feel like it belonged to me to begin with. It just sort of comes through me. I'm just really the vessel,
Yeah.
you know.
It's
Um
funny when I hear your music, I almost, and this is distinct to you, like I almost feel like it's an exercise for you. Do you know what I mean? Like you're working those muscles that come so natural to you. So on that note though, let's listen to a song. We're still going to look at each other here
sure.
and we'll play out Tinniversary. Is there any background here, anything that we can?
Well, Tinniversary, 10 is the 10-year anniversary medal you're supposed to get. And I wrote this song for actually my wife for our 10-year anniversary.
All right, here we go. Congrats.
Thank you.
Bravo. 10th
Thank,
anniversary.
thank you.
Let's before I want to talk about your past really quick in terms of music, but can you tell me a little bit about your like DAW approach? Because like I said, it just feels like all of this comes very natural to you. You know, how long did it take you to learn Logic? Um, what's your general approach like right now to the DAW?
I started on Logic 9, so it's going back, and then but my approach has always been the same. I really try, and this is my own habit. I try to emulate an analog console. So basically, I pretty much always start off the same way. I mean, and I think that's really what helps most. I'm sure you'll agree, having that routine, whether it's a template, with whether it's whatever your pattern is. I always end up using the same plugins that pretty much get me started, and then from there,
Mm.
that's when I start adding things and experimenting with things. And but there is definitely always a baseline that's usually a mock-up of a general analog console.
That's cool. So what do you instantiate on your channel strip? Are we talking like SSL workflow or?
I usually do an SSL, just because that's what I'm most used to. And I just find that they combined seem to give a nice character when you use them all the same, or at least across the whole spectrum. Um, and then sometimes, depending, I'll actually mix it out to another DAW to actually do the final mix, just because sometimes there's a character um, in other DAWs that just sort of give it another different type of analog feel. They have saturations within them, and but anyway, yeah.
You go to Pro Tools or you go to like Cubase or something?
I'll use Harrison. Um,
Cool.
Harrison is they've been in the business a very very long time. They make their own consoles. They make a terrific emulation of their original console, and it basically it does everything without instantiating the SSL desk, which is what I usually do in Logic. I instantiate the SSL pretty much across the board, but this doing it in Harrison just allows it has everything already preloaded. Saturation, EQ, compressing, sends is all already there, and it integrates with my own plugins already. So it's interesting
Yeah.
workflow.
So it's
You
not
don't do it
as
all the time.
yeah, it's not a CPU heavy, I would imagine too, right? I mean,
No, it's quite light.
yeah, yeah. Well, here, take us back before you had a grasp on your DW, before you had connections and a flow to your career. Because we all started somewhere, and this is kind of one of the things that I like to bring on the channel is like it's not always just these fun and games, right? Of course, we want to bring our A game every day, but sometimes there's just days where it's just not like that. So, um, how did you get started? Why did you decide to? I know that you are music, but why did you decide to get on this path as opposed to that path of music?
Well, I've seen the rigors of trying to be that type of musician that is touring, recording. Um, that is not the type of life for me. That's actually why I didn't get into music as a kid. I mean, I played, but only for myself in my garage.
Right.
And I went into film and Broadway for my career. But I basically stayed away from music. I didn't see uh, that the type of life that I wanted as an adult in music
For
that way.
sure.
But of course, my family was like, "Oh, you should write for TV. You should write for movies, and so and so." So even though I was in the entertainment business, I had messed around on my own with films that we were working on, and tried to score a few just with my 4-track recorder. Obviously, was not even DAWs were not out yet. Um, and then GarageBand came out, and Good Night Irene. That was pretty much it. I
Got
uh,
it.
I was like, this is amazing. I could record my guitars, I could record my pianos, and I have all these additional loops, and I could record my own drums. And then I started pumping out stuff on SoundCloud. like a madman. And things escalated from there. I
So
started,
you were just inspired.
oh yeah, I was just loving it. You know, I was just loving doing remixes. And so I started to put out stuff on SoundCloud, and then I had qu- quite a few artists reach out to me and be like, "Hey, you want to remix my song?" And blown away by this. I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'd love it." And so I did it, and they got released. And one of them got written up in this magazine that I did for a vocal. I worked with this woman, Avion Blackstone, who is a phenomenal singer, and we did a couple of tracks together. And one of her songs got written up in this magazine called Exposed Vocals, which gave me a real nice prop. And so it was fantastic. And now I'm like, now I've got the bug, right? I've gotten some acceptance. I have a few fans on several websites, you know, a couple thousand. So for me, that's huge. I'm like, oh, this is
Of
incredible.
course,
Maybe
of
I
course.
really have a gift. Maybe I can really, not gift, maybe I really have something to offer, right?
Well, yeah, of course you do. Yeah.
So and that's what really started it. And then starting to look back into my childhood, listening to key moments in the universe saying,
Mm,
write for TV, write for TV. So I was like,
got it.
I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for it. I'm just gonna
So so
figure out
so
how to do it.
before we parlay into that,
Yep.
like I do believe that we're talking about the universe kind of pulls you in certain directions, and I sometimes like I'll tell people y- whatever brings you inspiration, do that, and then you'll see kind of the signposts. So like in your case, you just felt called. It was just this natural love for the game, for the craft, and then of course you got some of the success, and then that has pulled you kind of into where you are now. So then tell me about this next wave. What happened? How did your curiosity lead you to the next place?
Well, I mean, I did sort of have a slight advantage to the fact that I knew what I was getting into because I know the business, I know the industry to the extent that I know how brutal it is, I know how competitive it is. I understand the amount of rejection that you're going to get. Um, so I think having that mindset certainly helped. But I mean, so that's what made it an easy leap. You know, I didn't have false expectations. I knew it was going to be a long road. I knew it was going to be a lot of learning. And it was endless learning. As I say all the time, you're never going to stop learning. And so that's really where that's why that was my leap, I guess, to just sort of be like, well, this is just another avenue of a business I'm already in,
Sure.
and let me see if I can exploit this to really do something that I'm passionate about and that I love. Because I didn't love film and Broadway. I didn't love it.
Mm,
My love was making music, and to wake up every day and have somebody else want you to create something for them. For me, is not only that's an amazing driver. That takes the pressure off for me because the creativity, as we were just talking about, it's a science and an art,
hmm.
right? There's progressions that evoke emotions. It's not rocket science, you know. There's a way to create within a framework for me, which makes it even easier because I have less choices, right? Disadvantages of being a Libra, the least choices for me, the better. So the more specific my briefs are, I mean, I can dial right in on them.
Yeah, and you've been doing just that with all the various. I mean, you did 100 songs last year alone. Is this right?
That's correct.
Regist. Yeah. Was it regist? Yeah, 100 registrations, which is like an anomaly that somebody can get that many. So that shows your productivity and your consistency and your dedication to the game. Um, I want to talk about. Well, hold on. Before, how long have you been doing this work, kind of more or less from top to bottom?
I'm going to say, um, for me, doing this work really begins was when you start getting briefs,
Okay.
right? And I
Hmm.
think that in itself is a process. But getting briefs, honestly, I think I've been doing this, getting briefs for about a year and a half, 2 years.
Okay. So let's just call it two for the sake of conversation. So,
Yeah.
I talk about the example of a sequoia tree or a bamboo, right? You plant the seeds, first year it grows 10 feet. I'm sorry, 2 feet. The second year it grows another 2 feet. Finally, on year five, for whatever reason, it decides to grow 10 feet, right? It multiplies. So, like, I think that's where you are, man. We've seen the growth. We're looking at the 4 feet, if you will.
Yep.
And then whenever year five comes, that could be this year, by the way. Like, I don't want to put any definitions or claim anything, but whenever it's your time, this tree will just sprout and just soar, when it's time. But I want to talk about what made the difference. How did you start changing? Because I feel like most people, to be honest, are where you were at that point. They've had a modicum of success, some kind of acknowledgement, and of course, to varying degrees. But then I don't know if it's you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, or you're ready for something new in your life. Um, and then you just say, now I have to start doing it. So what happened? Like, how did you turn it into this, where you are right now? Something happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I and again, I think it's part of the expectations. What I expected was to gain traction, momentum, not necessarily success, you know, um, but momentum, meaning that, there are people liking my music, I'm getting good responses, pursuing how to increase my business. This is a business. Remember, it's a business. Um, and I think that's really the biggest part is take it like a business, don't take it personally. It's not, you know, that I mean, trying to sort of pinpoint what that flipping point was.
Because I'm just saying, when I met you, you were kind of still on the come up, if you will. And we talked, and I heard your music, and I was like, okay, I see him. Because there's just certain people that are not even on the radar because they're just not there yet. But I clearly saw that you were there. And it was just a matter of a couple of adjustments, and I don't know what kind of changes you made. And then you just started taking off. There were things that were happening. Maybe you were just ready. Maybe that was it. But something started happening at that point when I first started talking to you, and I was always curious to see what that was.
I
Was
learned
it?
how to listen.
Oh, okay,
That was it.
okay,
Honestly, I learned how to listen. I took I just had some great conversations with some terrific people who really taught me how to listen,
hmm,
and r- that's really it. Taught me how to listen to my reference track, listen to my music, not necessarily in a comparative way, but
right.
more so in a way of a similar feel, a similar vibe, similar instrumentation. Um, in practice, a lot of it was literally copying the song,
Yeah.
not try to release it, but just for my own uh, reference. So literally, just redo the song exactly as it is, notes and
Amazing.
all, and then match it till it sounds exactly the same, off and on, off and on, and that's really what taught me how to listen. Like, how buzzy are the strings in a real orchestra, right? Because it's amazing how much a synthesized string, regardless of the program, needs work,
Mm.
right? A real string orchestra is so high, so buzzy, and yes, of course, but they're just so well mixed. And these are the things that we don't realize. So that type of that really detailed listening to what everything is going on, not listening to the focal of the music that's being presented or even your own, but not listening to the focal, listening to everything else in the music, and as a whole, right? What is giving it that sparkle in the back end? What's making your ear tingle? What's drawing you to the song? What's making your head bob? What's the actual timbre of each individual section,
Yeah.
right? Whether it's that sub, whether it's that mid range, which I've been learning more and more and more recently how much it's really all in the mid range.
Mm.
It's all in the mid range because I was just rehashing some old videos, and when you think about other speakers, store speakers, speakers that are all of this iPhone speakers, it's just in that mid range. So I'm now starting to just cut everything off high and low, just get that dialed in amazingly as possible. And then
Wow.
it's been a nice exercise, I have to say.
That's really cool, man. I love that I get to like talk to you and see where you are also, because I listen to a lot of your music, and we've collaborated from time to time. You just got another song picked up by the last collaboration we did. Um, it feels like when I talk to you and I look back during that time, like you woke up or you got married to your music. Like you just said, it's you and me. Like we're gonna do this. We're going places. It's time. I've spent hours, time, resources, tears, blood, and now it's time. We're gonna do this together. And then you just went off. I'll never forget, just because I hear from a lot of people, but it's very seldom that I see people soar the way you have, and I'm just so happy to be a cheerleader, part of your journey, and this is just the beginning. I mean, this is really just the
Oh,
tipping point.
seriously, literally. I mean, I
Yeah.
didn't invent that entire thing, by the way, that I was just talking about. Just so you know.
I mean,
Just
dude,
a
we,
disclaimer.
we 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 don't invent anything. I mean, it's
Right,
very,
exactly.
yeah.
It
We're
was not
always
my idea.
that's totally cool, as long as it's resonating. Then I think that's the only thing that matters. But um, look, I let's listen to one more song, and then we'll kind of
Sure.
take it from there. We got
This
"Windows of Your Soul." Any background here?
this is a similar vein. I had a brief where I had to do several R&B tracks for the background of this club. So both of these tracks you're hearing were for that. And so yeah, it's another R&B track. No real background. This was just for a client.
You know what? If you don't mind, because I want the listeners to also listen to some of your other like crazy, wild stuff. There's been a couple where you really crushed it. If you can, in the background when we play this, can you send me? Oh man, you've sent me so many tracks, but something in the tension world. Can you send me something wicked? Like
Sure.
you've sent me some sinister stuff that I would love. I just love your tones and your bite and stuff.
There's
So
a couple recently that we did that I really liked.
all right, cool, cool. So
Yeah.
so you just email that to me, no rush. We're playing Windows of Your Soul. Here we go. windows of your soul. Very good, man. Very good.
Thanks.
So let's see. We talked a little bit about your past. Talked a little about kind of where you are. So what's the end game? What's the end game? I know you're already stoked. You're already happy about the path. That's great. But surely we all have aspirations, and I'm sure you're looking ahead to some degree, maybe sometimes. What's next?
What's next? Well, I think now is really, register more and more, just get as many songs out there as possible. That's the immediate goal. The eventual goal is obviously recognition at some point. That would be nice. That would
Cool.
be, got a picture of the Emmy up on the desktop, my
Good.
visualization. Nothing's out of the realm of possibility. And for, I believe and that's it. That's what keeps it going. Nothing's out of the realm. I mean, drive hard, get the right ears to hear that music, and the rest is up to whatever. Right?
Well, hold on. There has been some recognition. Your last placement. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
With Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got really lucky. I did a traditional Christmas song that Johnson & Johnson wanted to use, and yeah, it was incredible boost for me. It felt great. It felt like that one felt like a big deal.
Yeah, of course. And sometimes I know earlier we talked about those little successes, which again cannot be swept under the rug. But sometimes we all just need a big win, and I feel like that was a big one for you. You needed that bucket, and that'll sustain you until the next thing, you know. But I'm telling you, look, man, mark my words. I don't know the date, January something, but by the end of this year,
Let's pick a date. Let's pick one. Let's pick a date. Go ahead, pick one.
well, it's January 20th.
All right.
By the end of this year, you will have so many placements, and I know because you and I are pushing songs together.
Yes.
So it's a done deal, and so maybe we'll do another one of these a little later on, and we'll throw back one or two, and we'll look back like and reflect kind of from a different angle, because it's like it's already done. It's just a matter of us kind of living into it at this point. But you're doing awesome. I feel privileged to know you and to see you.
Likewise.
Be a part of your testimony. Thank you. But yeah, man, let me play one more and then we'll wrap up if that's cool with you.
Definitely be more exciting than the other two.
Is there anything else you want to add? Just want to make sure.
No, I'm just incredibly grateful. Like I said, enjoy the process. It takes a lot of work for anybody who gets inspired by this. I mean, but enjoy the process. It's, keep your expectations reasonable, but your goals unreasonable.
Yes. All right, let's go with Serum. Here we go. that one was alive, like literally just had this like life form mutation vibe to it. That was really cool, man. I would definitely say that's one of your strengths, my friend. Let me yeah, there we go. I would say that's definitely one of your strengths. Would you agree with me?
I definitely do. I enjoy those a lot.
Yeah.
I do enjoy those.
Your orchestral stuff is really cool too. Can you send me just one more link when able? No rush. I'm gonna tag it in at the end here. I just it would be a disservice not to show your wingspan, and so I definitely want to play that, and I'll do that kind of off camera. But
Okay.
yeah, thank you so much. Let's just do some parting words for anybody that was at that point. They're highly gifted. They know music, right? They've been doing it their whole life. They're in too deep. They've invested too much time, energy, resources. What do you say to this creative that's out there? What's
Don't give
next?
up.
Okay.
Don't give up. That's all I got to say. You're stuck doing it anyway. So don't give up. Right? It's not like you're going to quit making music, you
Mm,
know? You're not going to quit unless you just totally throw your guitar or your piano out the window. You're still going to make music. You're a musician. You're going to whistle something to yourself. You can't help it.
mm,
Go with it. It's even if it's part-time, you know, it's not hard. I mean, you don't have to do it on a massive scale. You may not get that type of success, but you'll get the momentum to at least feel appreciated as an artist, that you can do one song a month, right?
mm.
I mean, which that's maybe unheard of in our business for us, but because
But
it's
hey, if you have one client that's paying you $1,000, who knows? Who knows? It doesn't have to look a certain way. That's the path that I've been on for a while. Is like, let's just find who you are.
keep
You
your
know,
expectations reasonable, right? Your goals unreasonable,
yeah.
right? I mean, enjoy the process, those little wins. Like I said, it doesn't, you're not going to quit. So don't quit. And
Mm,
just know that you're not going to quit. There are times, and just to say this for the last time,
yeah.
quickly, I literally recently even
Mm,
I have bouts where I'm like, what am I doing? I'm crazy to think like this. I'm nuts to think like this. And you know what? There's not a musician I speak to that doesn't go through this. We all go
absolutely.
through it.
If you keep it real, yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Accept it as a phase. This is just part of your process. This is part of what pulls you down deep so that you can dig what's deep in there out,
Mm,
and it is an ebb and a flow. It definitely is sometimes a bit mentally challenging, but you got to keep going. Don't quit. That's the thing. Just accept that you can't quit because it's within you, and
yeah.
just don't quit. You know,
To your point, really quick, I remember when you were first already soaring and flying, there was this one publisher you were trying to get into. It was kind of a big deal, and you kept trying and you kept trying and you failed. I hope that's not too strong there, but was it 8 times, 7 times?
miserably, failed miserably,
It was insane.
and he
And
was a
then you what?
and he was a friend.
And and what happened? Why did you keep going?
I kept going because he was a friend,
Okay,
right? I mean, he's one of the best in the business.
okay,
Why stop?
okay.
Just he's a friend. One day, I'm gonna make
Mm,
something he likes. I'm not gonna be annoying. I probably haven't spoken to the guy in a couple of years now,
right.
but he's a friend. So one day I'm gonna get something that he likes.
Wait, I was referring to IFMP, but
Oh, them, yes.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
she's
Because
amazing.
because because with that publisher, you actually did get a couple of songs in now.
Yes,
Yeah.
she's taken several songs.
So you broke through.
I did, and
Yeah.
she is. They're wonderful. I
Yeah.
have to say, there are certain companies that are just wonderful, and
Absolutely.
it's a joy to work with them. Um, so that's. I mean, and that like my friend, the one I was talking about, may not be a joy to work with. We'll find out. So
Got
far,
it.
it's been tumultuous.
Well,
But
hopefully you do get one song in regardless. I like to have at least one, five, 10 songs with as many contacts as I can because you never know who's going to turn into the next big publisher, to the next big music supervisor, editor, producer, post producer.
I
But
try to get good about that number. I mean, I'll give them like five each. Like right now, I have a few clients that have about five each,
right.
and I'm keeping it light, and we'll see what happens. If they start, banging it for me, then I'm going to send them more. And but either way, like I said, I'm fortunate. I have really nice people that I'm working with, and I have great people that I'm working with, you included. And yeah, I mean, I can't ask for more. It's I'm sending you another track right now.
Very cool. Well, tell me about this track and then we'll sign off.
This is actually one of my favorites, Victor. This was an orchestral piece I did that we actually got in somewhere. I forget where we got it,
Hmm.
but this one I actually really. This is one of those that I really enjoy. I'll actually listen to this one in my own time. Uh,
Actually, you know what? I'll just play while we're here. You don't mind, right?
no, I don't mind. Go for it.
All right. Let's play one more and we'll wrap it up. Oh, wow. Wow. Bro, dude, I just love the wingspan. This is so rare to see somebody like this. Dude, much love, much respect.
Thank
Mark
you.
my words, end of this year. This will be recorded, it will be streaming so we can look back and I'll even play this back and we'll just have a little laugh about it. But anyway,
I'm sure. Great.
you're killing it. You are crushing it. And I feel just so honored to be able to know you and be part of your journey. Thank you for being on this call, man. Really appreciate it. Any closing words?
um, just as I'm listening back, I just want to get better. As you listen to your old mixes, you just are like, oh, I just want to get better. You just want to keep getting better and better and better. Um, because you can create as well as anybody else.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You can.
All right, man. Well, let's sign off. Thank you very much. Keep crushing it, and I will see you later this year for our follow up.
Thank you, brother. Talk to you soon.
All right. Cheers, guys. Take it easy.
So long.